We'll just come into a place of silence for a moment to let all the energy settle in, to have our ears clear, to welcome the stillness. And as we open to the vibration of love and energy, forgiveness, tolerance, and acceptance, we come into this place of welcome, of peace, of open-heartedness and joy. We come to this place of Unity Grand Valley, place of worship, friendship, kindness and beauty, compassion. And as we gather as unique individuals here, we're a blessing to each other, to our community, and to the world at large. I come with a humble heart, excited to be here today to express joy, love, and laughter into this place and to the world at large. And as I bring peace in my heart, I consider the peace of our community and the world at large. We are a cosmos of beautiful people. And once again, I say welcome. Welcome to Unity Grand Valley. So, we welcome you all. If you're here for the first time, or back and forth, and just being present. So thank you. We're going to start with our affirmations of, and we'll say this 3 times together. I share my zeal and enthusiasm with those I encounter to raise the energy for the highest good. I share my zeal and enthusiasm with those I encounter to raise the energy for the highest good. I share my zeal and enthusiasm with those I encounter to raise the energy for the highest good. Nice. And we get to sing. I am the place where God shows up. It's by New Day.
Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God. You are the place. Moves and breathes and has we are the place, where God shows up. I am the place. I am the place where God. You are the place.
Our announcements today, we have Judian, we have a unity prayer team, and I believe Judian was at a conference last weekend to help us out with that. We also have an outreach with Debbie Squires. If you need community support, contact her. So we have a women's lunch coming up this Friday, the 27th, and the time is 12:30 at McAllister's.
Oh, thank you.
In our Cubby attractions, we have Debbie next week.
Yay.
Debbie, raise your hand. Thank you. And then Jolene on the 19th of November, and we'll have some fill-in people.
Yep.
Contact Judian if you have some
Thank you.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Yes. Marie Felipe is doing the 9-week on-course Live Your Happy. And there's lots of information about that.
And she's giving just us a 30% discount.
That's right.
So I would strongly suggest getting onto her website and looking at everything that's going to happen for the 9 weeks. It's really amazing. So, yeah.
We also have an updated directory in the back, sign-up sheets, and information on the back table.
I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth and the love and the light that will set you free. My faith is a boat on the ocean, sailing a stormy sea. I am in you, you are in me. I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth and the love and the light that will set you free. My love is a star in the heavens, shining for all to see. I am in you, you are in me. Be still, I know you are. Be still, I know you are. I am in you, I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth and the love and the light that will set you free. My song is a breeze from the mountain, healing in harmony. I am in you, you are in me. I am in you, you are in me.
Glad to meet you. Name's Tigger. T-I-double-G-R. That spells Tigger. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tigger's a wonderful thing. The tops are made out of rubber. The bottoms are made out of spring. They're bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful chaps. You're loaded with vim and with vinger. They love to leap in your lap. They're jumpy, bumpy, clumpy, thumpy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Tigger the cuddly felleth, Tigger the awfully sweet. Everyone else is jealous, and that's why I repeat. Oh, the wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made out of rubber, the bottoms are made out of spring. The bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. Cheerio! Tigger the cuddly felleth, Tigger the awfully sweet. Everyone else is jealous, and that's why I repeat. Oh, the wonderful things about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. The tops are made out of rubber, the bottoms are made out of spring. The bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, 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 fun. But the most wonderful things about Tiggers is I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
Being in the front row, so you can take care of it.
That's right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome. Can you think of any better example of zeal and enthusiasm than Tigger? Okay, maybe Samuel. Right?
Deal with it.
But, yeah, exactly. I mean, think about how contagious zeal and enthusiasm is. You know, they're just, it's, when we're around people that display a vibrant power of joy and zeal, you can't help but be affected by that, right? Yeah, joy. We have a little girl here, a young lady here, a young lady here.
Child's at heart.
That's right, and her nickname is Joyous Jules. So anyway, yeah. So think about children. I mean, how contagious children are when they're just discovering the world around them, right? Every little detail they're checking into, and they're just so involved in it. And think about when they're at play, how contagious that is. Just watching them play and their laughter. Oh my gosh, children's laughter. There is nothing more contagious than that, right? So there's just this, when we're enthusiastic and zealous and passionate, that's when we're really using the power of zeal. Zeal is also the ability to inspire, start, and motivate ourselves. So it's internal. It's an internal process that shows outwardly, right? So the example that Paul Hesselbeck and Sherry Holton used in their book Power Up, the book that Diana was telling us about last week or a couple weeks ago, they talked about it being, they described it as the first stage of a two-stage rocket, right? So the burst of energy lifting the rocket off the launch pad. But after getting the rocket going, the fuel is spent and the second stage must take over. So zeal is a power that needs to be used with the other powers, the other 12 powers. And those of you who are new to the 12 powers are abilities and just inborn abilities and capabilities that we have that Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, I think, he spent a lot of time in meditation and studying and stuff, and so he associated it with the 12 apostles, with choosing the 12 apostles, and so they're just these innate powers that we use. So, but zeal, back to zeal, zeal is like that. So our enthusiasm for something can burn out quickly, leaving things undone, right? Like, I'm a great example of this because I love the creation process. I love to create out of enthusiasm and passion and excitement and creativity. But to actually follow through to where it's an actual viable idea, not so much, right? And
Some of us can relate.
Yeah, I think a lot of us in this room probably. And so I was thinking about probably one of my most fun creations was after I walked the 300 miles on the Camino de Compostela in Spain. I was inspired to create, I was gonna bring it and I forgot, the Traveler's Bedbug Kit, right? So when I was researching the Camino, I read that all of the hostels that are used for the pilgrims, we were called pilgrims, they were called albergues, they had a bad infestation of bed bugs. And so they warned you, this is what it looks like, this is what's gonna happen. And a lot of the albergues actually grew lavender in the on their premises, because lavender is one of the herbs that helps repel them, right? So when I was thinking about it, they also said that it affects people with fair skin worse than people with olive and darker skin. So my niece that I was taking with me she's very Irish, so fair skin, freckled, beautiful red hair, right? So I was thinking, oh man, I do not want, because they were saying that people got really, really sick and had to quit and go home from these bed bug bites, and I just did not want that to happen to her. So what I did was I created a blend. I got with my friend, Dr. Jan Scavarda, and she's a aromatherapist, and I got with her and we got the right kind of blend of essential oils and also of herbs. So I made little sachets, and those sachets went in the backpack, to the side pockets of our backpacks to keep them away from our backpacks, because that was the other thing. Bed bugs love to travel, right? So they, as much as you do, and that's why they were such a bad infestation at that time. That was 2010, and that was when it was all in the news, and everybody was really concerned about it. So anyway, then I did this little combination, and we put it in spray bottles. And so when we would get to the albergue, we would spray down the beds we were going to sleep on, and if there was a pillow, we would spray all that down. And then we would go shower, and then go to dinner, and then come back and spray it again. And so, what happened was, in the morning, people that slept right next to us, because in those albergues, I mean, you are packed like sardines. Some of them are like the first big room that we slept in was 60 people in one big room, in beds, bunk beds, and on the floor, and 3 of us were women. So it was so you can imagine that I did not sleep that night at all. Yeah. Way too much testosterone in that room. I was just like, it was really interesting too. So anyway, so we're you're kind of packed in there, but people would wake up with bites, covered in bites, and they're like our little guy that we were traveling with, his ear was all swollen, their eyes would be swollen shut, and then just all their extremities, it's especially bad at the extremities. So when it gets actually in the eyes and ears that it's a bad infestation, because normally they'll just do extremities and a little bit on the trunk. Anyway, as a matter of fact, the albergues that were run by the churches, the nuns would inspect you. So if you went to sign in and you had the mark of the beast on your arm, they would not let you stay at their albergue. So you had to just move on. So it was a big deal, right? So when I got back home, people would ask me about it, because I would tell them, this is so cool. So they asked me, well, do you have some of that? I'm going on a trip, So we had it. As a matter of fact, one girl from work said, can I take those sachets? And she said, I'm afraid to take them, so we call TSA, because they look kind of like marijuana, I mean, they're little, And they said, no, we're not looking for that, we're looking for liquids, So anyway, so I was really passionate about it. I loved that it really helped us, and I could see how well it worked. And so I attended conferences on bed bugs. I did some more research. As a matter of fact, this funny story. This one, what do they call the people that study bugs? Entomology, yeah. This entomologist, he showed a slideshow, and he was showing a slideshow, and he said, this is the only cure for bed bugs. And so he has a picture of a house on one slide, and he said, this is an infested house. He said this, and the next slide was, this is the only cure, and it was the house on fire. Because there was no way to get rid of them. And that's what scared me the most, was like, we're gonna bring them home, right? And at the time, the big hotels were the worst infested here in the United States and around the world. Because you would think it would be the really sleazy kind of hotels, right, motels? No, it was the big Hyatt, Regencies, and it was the big hotels. Because they were the ones that had the international travelers. And that's why the Camino was so bad, was because they were travelers from all over the world, right? There was very few Americans on the trail. And so, anyway, we would go to booths, we would go to fairs, we had booths at fairs. I created a website, which was amazing. We developed the packaging and began to sell the kits, right? So my My Traveler's Bed Bug was quite the hit. The Daily Sentinel ran an article about it. That was really fun. And we were getting quite a few orders, but then the big dog showed up. Whole Foods wanted it. So that was really fun. So I talked to Whole Foods, and they were very interested in carrying it, and so just with a few modifications with the packaging, we could have, marketed it to them. But that's kind of when the Zeal began to fizzle. Not sizzle, but fizzle. So just like the rocket, after getting the rocket going, the fuel is spent and the second stage must take over. So the second stage keeps it going until it reaches its goal, right? It has to escape the velocity and orbit around the Earth. With Zeal, we combine other powers or abilities to make sure this second phase locks in. So we use the power of life, for one, which will be the power for December. The power of life enlivens and energizes whatever we're doing. The power of strength, when Zeal starts to wane, we must engage the power of strength to stay the course and keep going. Strength is the determination to see something through to the goal. After Zeal has got it ignited, right? Got it started. And then also the power of dominion. So do you remember the power of power, or the power of dominion, is a power over our thoughts. And so that power is super important to use with Zeal, because then we can control our thoughts or feelings about quitting and about letting go, right? Letting it just... So anyway, and I love how the powers work together. And when you think about it, I was thinking about this, when Jesus chose the 12 apostles, which the powers are based on, he needed all the characteristics and personalities of all those apostles to do his mission, right? To carry out his mission. He needed all of that, all those different personalities and characteristics. So when the excitement and passion for creating the bed bug kind of started to die down a bit, I could not sustain without the determination from the power of strength, right? I didn't know to call on that. It was before I knew about the 12 powers. And when I ran into some resistance from my husband, I just kind of caved, but I could have used the power of dominion to really control my thoughts and to stand up for myself and carry forward, right? And then my friend and I just decided, we didn't really want to do marketing, much less manufacturing. And we had jobs already that we really loved. She's a chiropractor, I was a counselor. And so the bed bug kit went to the cellar, where it stays, where every now and then it appears back up when someone calls me and says, do you have any more of those bed bug kits? Out of the blue. It's mostly people from hospice that I worked with. But anyway, I think I have like 2 left. I was going to bring one. I'll bring one next week so you guys can see it. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so we use all the powers from 2 levels, and we've talked about this before, right? The ego personality level, or the elevated, the higher consciousness level. And so Zeal from our ego or personality level looks like the ability to be enthusiastic, passionate, inspirational, and motivational based on our senses, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. The 2 ways that Zeal shows up on an ego level or personality level is underdeveloped Zeal and overdeveloped Zeal. So underdeveloped Zeal, obviously, is when we're listless, don't have much zest for life. It's when we're unmotivated and unable to inspire others, unable to inspire ourselves and others. It's when things are extremely difficult to start and for sure difficult to see things through. So back to Winnie the Pooh, think of Eeyore. Remember Eeyore, the donkey in Winnie the Pooh, right? Always listless, overwhelmed, and troubled about something. And his little voice was always like this, ooh, woe is me, right? And then, and then overdeveloped Zeal shows up in someone as zealous, impulsive, compulsive, and overly ambitious. So Tigger in Winnie the Pooh, right? Tigger's very enthusiastic, but often very careless, bouncing out of control and ending up getting stuck in the trees or knocking somebody over, right? So Zeal from an elevated consciousness or higher consciousness is the ability to be enthusiastic, passionate, inspirational, and motivational. Same thing as the ego level, but it's based on the divine nature of ideas, truth, principles, and laws. We use zeal to enthusiastically be the best person or the best Christ that we can be in the world. So this is the level that propels us into action, and then our enthusiasm becomes contagious. It makes me think of the Pied Piper. You know, I got that visual of the Pied Piper. When we are following Spirit and playing the tune that resonates with absolute truth, we're like the Pied Piper, not on an egotistical level, but in an effort to be of service to the highest good for everyone. So when I was really meditating on the power of zeal, I was thinking, how does it show up for me? So for me, zeal is energy and motivation. I either have it or I don't, right? Some days I don't, some days I do. And then I was thinking, okay, if I don't have energy, other than a physical reason, what keeps me from having the energy? And I thought, okay, my moods, right? And moods are just thoughts. And so one morning a few weeks ago, I had a really cool experience. I woke up mentally and physically in a really depressed state. I mean, I had no energy and I was really just listless, unmotivated, down. And I have bouts of this a lot. And they can last for a few days. But for some reason that day, deep in my subconscious mind, the thought came to me that if I did not want to feel this way, that I didn't have to. It was almost like this, like, oh, wait a minute, this could be a choice. I don't have to, because I was like, I'm sick of feeling this way, you know? I get to that point where it's just like, I hate this. And then all of a sudden, like this wave of energy flowed through me, and out loud I proclaimed, this is just a thought, and I can change my thoughts. I can change my mind. I was so excited. And I'm not kidding you, within that moment, I got a rush of energy. I jumped up, ran through my day, and I had a great day. And that defeated feeling and that depressed state has not returned since then. Because it's almost like as soon as it gets there, like when I wake up, because I wake up and I don't feel good. I don't know what's going on. But low energy, I have headaches, you know, that kind of thing. And I can collapse into that. But now I'm just like, okay, I get to choose. I get to choose. I can get up, I can jump on my trampoline, I can go for a walk, I can get in a cold shower, I can do those things that will change it, rather than just sitting on the couch and being a victim of it, right? So within all of us is the ability to call upon the power of zeal. We all have the power to change our energy and level, applying the power of zeal. So zeal on an ego, this is when I was really meditating on it, this is what Spirit gave me. Zeal is an ego, on the ego level, is the power to do, right? We're enthusiastic, we're motivated. Zeal on an elevated consciousness level is the power to be. And I'm thinking, how does that work? How does zeal help us be, right? Zeal on a higher consciousness level is the slow, steady pull of the train by the engine. I thought of you, John. It's just like, it's that torque, you know, it's just that slow, it's the power. It's so much power. It's changing from the inside out. On the physical plane, it can look like energy, right? People with zeal and enthusiasm can be very productive, but that energy slowly runs out if the source of zeal is not grounded in divine principles. Spiritualized zeal is tempered with the powers of wisdom, strength, and dominion. It is steady, focused, and clear. It's guided by divine mind, not the race consciousness or ego or personal consciousness. It motivates from a deep knowing and desire. It is sparked when divine will and human desire collide. So I'm going to repeat that one, because I've mentioned this moment before. It's when it is sparked. Okay, I'll start over. It motivates from a deep knowing and desire. So you have the knowing that is there, but you have to have the desire. It is sparked when divine will and human desire collide. And the visual I got was, it's the spark that ignites the grill. You know? That button that you push. And all of a sudden, you turn on the gas, you push the button, and the grill comes on, right? So thought is the spark, and the fuel is the ever-present, all-knowing divine energy. It's always available. We just have to turn it on or connect, right? But the spark has to be generated by us. We are the spark. Spirit is the fuel. It will always sustain us as long as the spark does not die. If and when the spark does die, which it will, because that's the human condition, right? We're not always going to be sparky. I have a dog named Sparky, I think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, if it does die, all it takes is just the effort to ignite it again. We get so caught up in the fact that the flame is not going, that we just get distracted, and when all we really need to do is just light the flame again. Do our practices, do what we know, like I did that day. Like I was thinking, get up, get in the shower, because I do cold therapy, so it's like really cold, which is a really good dopamine hit. Anyway, and so there always has to be so for me, what I realized and when I was getting this information, it was like this was a personal message to me, because the message was that I always feel like there has to be something wrong when in our thoughts, when all it is just a lack of zeal on my part. So it's like, oh, there's something wrong. Like those days I wake up, oh, there's something wrong. Maybe I'm too depressed. Maybe the grief is not being dealt with. Maybe whatever it is, there's always something wrong. Instead of just wanting it bad enough to just light the flame again, noticing, oh, okay, my flame just isn't lit. My spark just kind of dwindled out a little bit. So that's why it's an inside job. Nothing external can make us light the flame, even though it seems like it. So I was thinking like a death or an illness or an accident. When I got that car accident, there's things that I think affect it. But Spirit said, these things may be the catalyst, but they are not the spark. The spark of zeal is our decision to light the flame again. Once we get a glimpse of and experience our spiritual nature, we develop a passion and zeal for learning more about being the best Christ we can be. We passionately start to research and discover more so we can have more of these experiences. That's a natural extension. That's just a natural thing that we do. That's why using the power of zeal from a higher consciousness is an inside-out process. The fuel is divine mind, divine ideas, divine laws, and principles. Then it's our desire to learn more and experience life from this consciousness that lights the spark of zeal. So I started thinking about what a dumb example the bedbug kit was for the idea of zeal. Because I write a little bit and then I look back and go, that was really dumb. So I really wanted to just like take that story out. But then, but what I realized is the information that came through was there was an example of zeal from the personality. That was my enthusiasm, right? And that I did not know how to enliven zeal from a higher consciousness level. So my question was, so how do we develop the power or ability of zeal so that we may bear witness to the workings of the divine? In other words, how do we activate zeal in a way that is contagious and inspiring? So Spirit answered. I love this. I might get emotional. I got a little tingly when I got this. Do all things from a place of knowing that divine consciousness is ready and available at all times. We just have to call on it. You just have to call on it, is what it said. Use the image of the Pied Piper, people following as they are led by the music of perfect love to a remembrance of their true selves, their divine nature. When the spark dies, which it will from time to time, know that you are just a thought away from connecting to the source that is in you and as you. The source that sustains you, uplifts you, and loves you beyond measure. Use the power of zeal with the power of wisdom, dominion, and life. Stay steady and know that you hold the power within you to create worlds. And know that all is always well. And all I could say was thank you. So, thank you.
It's time for our offering, the generosity of spirit that we can share. We do have some words to speak. Divine love flowing through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And we have a fun song. I am in need of a happy song.
Well, I'm in need of a happy song. This world I'm in is all gone wrong. My spirit's sinking on this leaky boat. It's been roller coaster seas for me. I'm searching for a way to be that lifts my soul and helps me stay afloat. But everywhere I turn, I find my own mind in the way, dashing all my hopes and dreams and hell-bent on dismay. Hell-bent on dismay. Yeah, hell-bent on dismay. Yeah, music always seems to click when nothing else will do the trick. Truth be told, it seldom lets me down. So if my world is looking glum, I sing myself to kingdom come. A song or two will turn my mood around. The pieces of my life seem brighter as music lifts my soul. I catch a glimpse of hope and free my heart to let it roll. You gotta let it roll. Come on, let it roll. Now music might not be the thing that lifts your heart to make it sing. All I'm saying is find what works for you. And when trouble starts to spin your head, you don't have to let it spread. You can free yourself and let the light shine through. Fears and worries bleed us dry and leave a hollow shell. Refresh your joy and let it guide you. Kiss those blues farewell. You gotta kiss those blues farewell. Kiss those blues farewell.
We thank you for the blessings of this day, this offering, and we hold it close in our hearts with thankfulness, and we offer it in service to our church and to our community. A symbol of letting go, releasing.
I can do it.
I can do it.
I can do it. I can do it.
I can do it.
I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Joy is the key. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Dream big. I can do it. Dream big. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Feel good. I can do it. Feel good. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Joy, joy, joy. It's all there for me. Joy, joy, joy. Joy is the key. Be well, I can do it. Be well, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Have fun, I can do it. Have fun, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Joy, joy, joy. It's all there for me. Joy, joy, joy. Joy is the key. I can do it. 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 Joy, joy, joy. It's all there for me. Joy, joy, joy. Joy is the key. Joy, joy, joy. It's all there for me. Joy, joy, joy. Joy is the key. Joy is the key. Joy is the key. Joy is the key.
I can do it.
I can do it.